Good morning and welcome to St. Joseph's parish here in Colwyn, North Wales, for this our first podcast. Welcome to all our parishioners and to anybody else sneaking a look in at this presentation. We're making it at a very difficult time when the coronavirus locks everybody into their own home. And so we hope to bring you some of the liturgy that you can't come to. Thank you for joining us. Today is the fourth Sunday of Lent, and it's a very interesting scripture readings this morning. We have God wanting to give the chosen people a leader. So he sends his prophet Samuel to Jesse. Now you'll remember that Jesse is one of those characters when in the coming up to Christmas and you have this list of hereditary people. Jesse is one of those and David is the one that's going to be chosen as the leader. So he's sent to anoint David as their leader. And in this passage, taken from the book of Samuel, chapter 16, God says, "My ways are not your ways. I don't think like man, and man doesn't think like me." And so Samuel presented to the Lord 6 of Jesse's children, but he never chose one of them. He chose David, who was the least important of them, who was out minding sheep in the fields. He was the one that God chose. Now, also in our scripture reading this morning, we have St. Paul's letters to the Ephesians. And in this one, he tells the people, "You were in darkness once, but now you're in the light." And then in the Gospel of John, we have the whole incident of the man who was born blind and who was cured by Jesus and received his light. He received his sight back. Now, this is, you were, St. Paul says, in darkness. Now we have this blind man receiving his sight back. So we are invited to think about what that means. We are invited to see whether we are living in darkness, whether we are doing things the way God would want them done, and whether we can get our sight back, our real sight. You know, one of the difficulties for many Christians is that they look upon Scripture, the last word in God's creating the universe. It stopped in Genesis. Whereas if we look around, we see, and the scientists tell us this, creation is continually taking place, and we are participating in that creation. Now, even the coronavirus is imposing restrictions on us where we're all going to be locked into our own homes. Yeah. What are we going to do? Jesus says, "I will be with you all days, even to the end of the world." What's Jesus doing now? Is he sitting on the shelf somehow looking at us? Or is he actively participating in our lives? So as we're locked in, what are we doing? Are we going to spend any time in prayer, in reflection about where we are at as a family, as individuals? Are we going to invite Jesus into this time that we have together or on our own? Are we going to learn how to or recite the rosary? These are opportunities that are given to us to participate more fully in God's creation. And if we use our time valuably, we will be in a position that will be enhanced as we come out of this crisis. Thank you for being with us this morning.